Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, online viewers worldwide, welcome to the 2016 Tang Prize Award announcement. In the past 3 days, the Tang Prize Foundation has announced the 2016 Tang Prize laureates in Sustainable Development, Biopharmaceutical Science, Sinology, and today we will be making the award announcement for the 2016 Tang Prize in Rule of Law. First of all, it gives me great pleasure to introduce to you the distinguished guests who have joined us this morning. Former Justice of the Constitutional Court of Taiwan and an eminent criminal law professor, Dr. Xu Yuxiu. Board member of the Tang Prize Foundation and chairman of Lee & Lee Attorneys at Law, Dr. C.V. Chen. PhD candidate in international law at Oxford University, Mr. Raymond Chen En Song. CEO of the Tang Prize Foundation, Dr. Chen Zhenchuan. Ladies and gentlemen, the chair of the Tang Prize Selection Committee, Dr. Li Yuanzhe, cannot be here in person today due to a prior engagement. Dr. Li has recorded a video to announce the 2016 Tang Prize laureate in Rule of Law. Dr. Li.
Distinguished guests, members of the media, I'm now honored to announce the recipient of 2016 Tang Prize in Rule of Law, Louise Arbour, for her enduring contributions to international criminal justice and the protection of human rights, to promoting peace, justice, and security at home and abroad, and to working within the law to expand the frontiers of freedom of all. Congratulations.
Thank you, and congratulations again to Louise Arbour. Ladies and gentlemen, now please join me in welcoming former Justice of the Constitutional Court of Taiwan, Dr. Xu Yuxiu, to introduce to us the Tang Prize laureate in Rule of Law and to give the prize citation.
Professor Chen Changwen, board member of the Tang Prize Foundation, Professor Chen Zhenchuan, CEO of the Tang Prize Foundation, Mr. Raymond Song. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I join Dr. Li Yuanzhe in congratulating Madame Arbour for her award of 2016 Tang Prize in Rule of Law. I feel honored and am delighted to introduce Professor and Justice Louise Arbour, especially because we both are criminal law lawyers, and we have both sat in cases judging on constitutional issues as female justices. Among her many positions, she served as a justice to Supreme Court of Canada and the High Court in Ontario. Her key international positions included the chief prosecutor to the UN War Crimes Tribunals, ICTY and ICTR, the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights, and the president and CEO of International Crisis Group. Louise Arbour served as criminal professor at Osgoode Hall Law School, one of the leading law schools in Canada. Her expertise lies in criminal procedures. This closely involves the exercise of state power in crime investigation, searches, surveillance, and arrests. These issues are in the heart of the rule of law. While she was in Ontario Court of Appeal, she was appointed by the Canadian government to chair the Commission of Inquiry into events at Women Prison in Kingston. And in 1996, she authored the famous Arbour Report, which heralded the reform of prison and detention center. Recently, its 20th anniversary was celebrated in Canada. Arbour recommended the constitutional rights of those in prisons be protected by law. Also in Ontario Court of Appeal, Arbour stood for prisoners' right to vote. Another case dear to her heart was about the education rights of disabled children, together with their classmates in normal classrooms. Her view was that, from a social and a historical point of view, placing children in special classrooms is a disadvantage, therefore discriminatory. Although her judgment in this case was later reversed by the Supreme Court of Canada, all these issues showed her sensitivity to gender issues and those whose rights were neglected, and she stood for them. In the course of the breakup of Yugoslavia and in the ethnic conflicts in Rwanda, terrible crimes like ethnic cleansing were committed in the name of race and religion. At the end of 20th century, one in Europe and the other in Africa. So the UN Security Council decided to set up tribunals to bring those who are responsible to justice. And Arbour was appointed to the chief prosecutor for the tribunals in 1996. The problem was tribunals has no power to make arrests, and those who behind those crimes were military commanders, even heads of group, ethnic group, or heads of state. And the troops of the NATO states didn't want to get involved for worry of their own safety, for not to disrupt the peace process. Arbour used several techniques to fulfill her task. She solidly collected evidence and built the cases. She persuaded the NATO states to act because they had an obligation to cooperate with the Security Council. Also, the new republics separated from Yugoslavia started to cooperate with the tribunal. One by one, the tribunals were making arrests and aimed at the big fish, including Milosevic when he was still president of Serbia. In her years, the criminals brought to the tribunals greatly increased. In all this, Abu worked within the law. She didn't choose the easy way of trials in absentia because that was not in the statutes. She defended the independence of prosecutors from political influence or convenience. And she relied only on the evidence and the law in deciding the charges to be brought, even to high-profile suspects. For example, originally, Milosevic was charged with crimes against humanity, not genocide, for lack of evidence. Over the years, Abu has written and spoken on a wide range of topics, including the parallel pursuit of peace and justice, and has fought for those whose rights were neglected, including women, prisoners, disabled children, and the people who suffered from armed conflicts. She consistently stands on the forefront, and her work expands the frontiers of freedom for all, no matter who they are and where are they from. Most importantly, her tasks were always tough, but she insisted on the rule of law. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you once again to Dr. Shi for giving us such a thorough introduction to the Tang Prize Laureate in Rule of Law. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us this morning at the 2016 Tang Prize Award announcement in Rule of Law. The Tang Prize Award ceremony will take place on September 25th. We look forward to seeing you then. Also, all of the press information will be made available on the Tang Prize official website. Thank you very much.